Milton, what about you? How do you weigh into this? Here is a man that is stinkingly rich despite the fact that his annual salary, by the way, was $25,000.
Well, obviously, Shaka, it's problematic that it took a United Kingdom court to convict him. The problem in Nigeria, I understand, was that the judge that allowed all the charges to be dismissed was his cousin. We can't have that kind of mechanism to enforce and fight corruption in African countries. But Shaka, I'd like to point out very quickly, the difference is that while we do have corruption in the United States as well, just last week it was reported that Walmart bribed Mexican officials. And we remember the case of William Jefferson, the congressman, who was found with $100,000 in his freezer at home. But the difference is that in this country, we have mechanism for fighting corruption. The difference is that we don't have that similar mechanism in many African countries. I read a very interesting article in Uganda's New Vision newspaper today, before I came to the show, that President Yoweri Museveni is saying that the property and assets of corrupt officials should be seized and taken away. But it's not explained who is going to be in charge of trying these officials and confiscating these property. And then what happens if it's also alleged that the most senior officials in the country, including the president, might also be involved? Who would enforce that then? We need an independent judicial system in each African country to go after corruption, and we need it also regionally, and we also need a continental organ, perhaps under the auspices of the African Union, as well as the United Nations, to fight corruption in African countries.
But